Look at that. It is. There you go. Okay, let's see. There are lots of gravels and very little rain. Yes, we're going the right way. Hey, Crawdad and Rusty here, and today we're out at the Malheur Wildlife Refuge, and or on the outsides of it, the part that's open to us, and we're just going along roads and looking at things. And we're near Harney Lake, and we have found a place. So let me show you what we've been picking up. Just got a road coming down. This is an old lake bed area, and there's a lot of jasper along here. And what's really neat about some of this jasper is you can see it's the smaller pieces in particular are already polished. And they're beautiful, but there's also larger pieces like this one, which is almost, it's very close to agate. Here, get it in the picture. It's very close to agate because it's of its translucency, but I'll call it a jasper because the stuff right next to it like this is a beautiful jasper. Here, and I'll see if I can break one open here. And you can see how the inside is layered beauty of color. And so that's what we've been collecting around here. I like to see these multicolored deals where you can see the colors insides, outsides, and they're already polished. So all right along here we found a little bit of agate. Well, that one's a little more like agate on the inside. A little bit of lace agate. See if I can find just some lace agate and some petrified woods. And a lot of this kind of jasper, which I will love slicing up and seeing what's on the inside. Pretty desolate area, and I'd say we're probably 15 miles or so from the next person. But I was just driving along and I said, hey, there's Jasper. And this whole place is just covered in jasper like this. Just beautiful stuff. So we're collecting we'll collect about a half a bucket of it. So I got plenty of samples to work with. A little ways up here, we started to see some of these rock formations that were more like agate, and it didn't look like much until you break a piece off. Anyway, you can start to see that maybe there actually is something agate-y in there. Some of these really dark colors of shiny goodness. That one looks like caramel candy to me. As you can see through, plus it's just got that wonderful hardness of jasper. More jasper. This kind here seems like when you break it open, it's lighter colored on the inside than the outside. Some of these little tiny pieces are just exquisite. That is virtually translucent. I'd like to see if I can find another piece of that agate. Oh, there we go. I'll spray some water on that back at the truck and show you what it looks like. It's got some jasper in the back, and it looks to me like some sort of almost a lace agate there. Interesting. All kinds of interesting formations and colors. Oh, look at the color differences between the light and the dark of that. Yum, chocolate caramel. Oh, I'm gonna like chocolate caramel. Yes. Okay. I'll see you at the truck. All right, get a little close up here. Some of these, you can see that there's maybe you can see this one just has so many different colors and some translucency. That's just, well, to me it's spectacular. I was telling you about the some of the more lacy agates. So that's these guys right here. And see if I can kind of see in there. Circles, and it's connected with translucent, somewhat transparent, like quartz. I had another one in here. Here's my bucket. Pretty awesome, huh? I think it's awesome. That is really cool. There's just all kinds of variations of color. For instance, look at the end of this little piece. You can see all the different colors in there. This was our stop for today, out in the absolute middle of nowhere of an ancient lake. Nothing around for miles, and yet there is a beauty. And today, 75, 76 degrees and the light breeze. It's really, really awesome. How's that for a box of rocks? Yeah, it's sometime later, and we're home. And very interesting. I've learned quite a bit since then. We had a number of these types of different agates and jaspers that already look like they were tumbled. And the reason they look like that apparently is because they already are tumbled. They were tumbled by the waves of a large lake that used to be there. And so they could have been tumbled over a lot of years. They're often found in piles at the edge of where the lake used to be and no longer is. Even shinier than what you would find at the beach in the ocean, but they're pretty neat. So I've got a tumbler ready to go of these guys, and you can see there's some pretty patterns on them when they get wet. Another thing I learned was this strange looking agate stuff. It's called Oolytic Agate because it's an agate made up of oolites. Oolite referring to these little egg-like formations that are inside the agate, concreted together by agate. Now, it turns out that most of what we picked up that we thought was jasper and or agate is related to this Oolytic agate. I've cut a number of these pieces in half. Now when I cut stuff on my saw, I'll cut it as I look at it. I'll try to determine, okay, what's the best way to cut this? Is this going to be better as a specimen for display, or is it going to be better as jewelry? And if it's as jewelry, I'll just start cutting slabs off of it, hoping to be able to cut into things in a certain way that will be revealed. Now I can see this really is just a very much more agatized Oolytic agate. And so this is what it looks like on the inside. We'll spray it here. Bring it up a little closer. It is really unique and quite beautiful. Rather than full oval-shaped oolites that are in there, they're like stretched out, almost like tubes in there, but you can see a fairly good depth. What that would look like as a piece of jewelry, a pendant or something, I really don't know, but we'll get around eventually to tumbling perhaps some natural shapes. Maybe we could cut some cabs out of it, but that'd be very interesting. Another piece that I cut as perhaps jewelry. What's really neat about this stuff is the grain is so distinct, and it looks like layers of rock smashed together on top of each other and then glued together with translucent agate in between the lines. Pretty cool. All right, let's see what else we got. See, I've got another piece here that I did for jewelry because it didn't look to me like something that would be just a great specimen piece. Here again, though, it's pretty amazing. So that's definitely some sort of a agate formation, as it's translucent and I can see patterns and lines. So that was pretty cool, and there's a huge chunk of that. Colors vary throughout. All right, so let's look at a piece of Oolytic Agate that I cut in half, and you can see the inside and how it's hooked together. So there's a pair. This one I cut for specimen because I thought it would make a nice little set like this. So I cut it in half lengthwise like that, and that's cut with a little water on it. And here you can see all of the little different oolite patterns, and you can see that each of these oolites has some formation in it. There's actually some pieces in here that look just like little roses, the way the pattern goes. And then again, it's like it's got a kind of a milky agate in between that's cementing it together. Let's see. Okay, a couple more specimens that I experimented with. Here's a little nodule, and here I thought it would just be an agate nodule. Turns out, more oolite. And what's neat about this one is it definitely is an agate nodule at the top, but you can see the swirls and the different parts. And then you got the oolites. So I like that one. Let's see. So this one has definitely more of an agate look. Whether it's related to oolites or not, I don't know. But another matched pair. And watch this one come alive. This is just chock full of white plume agate. That I can't wait to polish up. See what it looks like finished up. Alright, one more that I cut apart here. And to me, this was my favorite piece. So on the outside, I could see it was agate, and if you look, there's a few places, I don't know if you can see it right there. I'm actually getting some schiller out of this. Almost like a gold color, which a gold would be more like a sunstone. I don't know what this is, but I'm assuming it's some sort of an agate formation. Now, check this out. Look at that come out. The color. It's opal-like in there. This is amazing. Another amazing piece that I think will make an awesome displayed piece. We discovered later on that even though we were still on BLM land, which is a place where you can collect rocks, we didn't go where we had planned to go. Our GPS took us to a completely different location, miles away from where we were planning to go. So I guess you could say we were lost. So here's to you. May you get lost and find adventure along the way out in the beauty of God's creation. God bless.